Hey everybody, it's Mike Kleonowitz with another message for today. The message for today is go Ravens, beat the Browns, and let's get a home playoff game for this year. So I'm all decked out because we got a game starting in about 2 hours. But other than that, kind of have some other messages to talk about today too. Things have been just absolutely going amazing in my life. Um, I know it's been a day or two since I've been on here, but I can just say that God is working in my life. He is working in my life. Amen. Hallelujah. Finally, I'm starting to see some stuff happen. Not that I wasn't before, but He just had a different kind of plan for me, man. And He has a plan to prosper me, and He has a plan to provide for me, and He has a plan to give me some creativity. He wants to give me money. He wants to give me, more money than I ever had, but He wants to make it so I do it myself and I achieve the success through my own creativity. And when I say myself, I mean with God. I mean, with God, because God is involved in your life in everything you do. He is involved in every single aspect of your life. And most people don't think about it like that. But, you know, when you do the right thing, when you praise God and you worship God and you communicate with God, that's the key. He's there. He's the one to communicate with. And I talk to people in real estate about this all the time when they say, well, I got a real estate coach and I got this coach that I pay whatever to and all this. And he tells me everything I need to do to be successful in real estate. Well, these coaches are not as successful as God because you see, God created these coaches. He created these real estate coaches. I could do what these coaches do. Why? Because I have God. And these ideas that I'm getting now are like on steroids of what could happen to me and turn into this massive, and I mean massive amount of income through all kinds of different things in real estate that I never thought were possible. Now, I'm not just talking about selling houses here. You know, I'm talking about doing things to network with hundreds of agents across the entire country without having to leave to go to an event or a conference somewhere and get on an airplane and go visit somewhere, so I can run into people randomly who I may or may not ever need to know. This is about doing something different that probably I don't think any agent probably in the country has thought about what I'm doing. Maybe they have, but I haven't seen it. And it's just like, like game changer, when you leverage other people and you help other people. And it comes back to what Zig Ziglar used to say. If you help enough other people get what they want and you focus on that, well, then you can have anything you want. You just have to help enough other people get what they want. And, that's what God's trying to do with me. Is He's trying to take an idea that I have and say, okay, well, have you thought about maybe doing it this way? Have you thought about maybe doing it another way? What about if you did this? What about if you did that? What if you took your knowledge that you have very deep down inside you from all of the trainings that you've been to and from all of the education that you've been to, and all the different things over the years that you learned, how to work on the computer, how to design images and advertisements and how to do video and how to incorporate everything together to get a message, to put a message together, which is what I learned by doing these podcasts. It's like I never knew what the point of the podcast were, but the point of the podcast were to teach me how to put a message together and how to be able to package it and how to be able to sell it to people through real estate. And that's one of the things that God was doing with my messages. Now, the other side is I'm also helping people go to God. You see, it's like a win-win. He's getting people, I'm getting people. He's getting people, I'm making money. He doesn't care about money. I do care about money because I need money to be able to survive in this world that we live in, you know? Let's be real. So, I've been praying and I've been praying and I've been getting tried after test after test after tribulation, and it's just been nonstop for the past year. When I wanted to kill myself, a year ago at this time, I wanted to kill myself, and now I can't wait for tomorrow. And tomorrow, I can't wait for the next day because I just got more clients. Just this is client after client after client after client after phone call after new call after whatever, and they're just coming in and they're flowing in, and it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm almost at the point. I'm going to have to figure something out because I'm not going to be able to deal with all of them. So I don't know what I'm going to have to do. I'm gonna have to figure out, how to refer stuff out or work some kind of plan with other people. And I don't know, man. God will show me the way. He'll show me the way, because thing is that nothing is impossible when you got God. I mean, nothing is impossible when you got God. Nothing at all. And that's just the message that I want to deliver. And he had me delivering seeds last year for him. He had me planting his forest to people for him. And I'm seeing it grow. I'm seeing it in some of my groups. Some of my groups that I go to, my Celebrate Recovery group, the guys in there are thriving. They are all doing well. Every single person that comes to the group that has a problem with alcohol, has a problem with drugs, has a problem with, porn, has a problem with whatever, they're able to overcome their problems, and they're growing and they're learning. And one of the most important messages I told them the other night at the table, and I was sitting at the table, and I lost it. I started crying, and I feel like I'm going through here, and I don't want to, but that's what happens when the spirit overtakes me and the power overtakes me. It just takes me to a whole nother level, and I preach. I literally preach to these guys sitting around the table. There was like 20 of us, and they got this book, that they use in the program. That's a 12-step book, and they refer to it as their handbook and all this stuff. And one of the other guys had said in there that he runs a men's group, and you can't put a price on how important it is to be part of a men's group if you're a man, or a woman's group if you're a woman, or whatever, and put a price on being around some good Christian minded guys. And I told him, I said, I got real intense too. I was like, man, if you guys think that 12-step book is something, then you ought to see what that Bible can do. You know, like that is the book, man. That is the holy grail. That is your defense when you come up against the devil. That is what you need to know. That is the information you need to know. Those are the stories you need to know. That is what needs to be ingrained into your head and into your heart. All that stuff that's in that Bible. And it's not easy to read it and know it and learn it, and the hardest part is living it. It's living it, living the word. and living the teachings of Jesus and living the teachings of Christ. That is the hardest part of this whole thing that we call life, you know? And it is just one of those things that, the message today is just be so thankful that God is everywhere and he's at your disposal whenever you need him, no matter where you are, no matter what's going on, no matter how bad it is in your life, no matter what kind of a hand you got dealt that was total crap, you know, things happen, man, and they happen because they're designed to teach us, and we're designed as humans to learn from our mistakes so they don't become mistakes anymore. This is why you see old people are the ones that people consider to be wise. Old people are the ones that people consider to have wisdom, you know? And I think it's because they have time that they can use to connect to God. But what about all these young people out there? I still think I'm young. I'm 46. I'm not old, but some days I feel old. But you know, the thing is, you still got time in your life, in your 20s and your 30s. It's so important to find time for God and find time for Him to just be with you and just, allow him to be part of your life. Allow him to guide you. Allow him to show you the way. Every day I ask him to show me the way. Show me what I need to do. Show me what I need to say. Show me how I need to be. And every day I'm coming up with more and more and more ideas on what I need to do, for my life, not just for my business, not just for my finances, but for everything. For the relationship that I have with my wife, for the relationship that I have with my kids, for the relationship that I have with my in-laws. It's just everything. For the lack of the relationship that I have with my father. Those of you that watch this know that my father and I don't speak, but that's his choice. That's not my choice. And, that's the way it is. I've accepted it. I've moved on from it. You can only beat a dead horse so many times, you know? And you can only take a horse's face and shove it in water so many times, you know? And, all I want to do at the end of the day is to have my dad say, I'm proud of you. And when I say I want my dad to say, I'm proud of you, I'm not talking about that piece of crap that I have here on earth. I'm talking about God. I'm talking about the Father. I'm talking about the man. That's who I'm talking about when I'm talking about the world and what's really important out there and what's all encompassing. Like that should be your goal. Your goal should be to make him proud and to, you know, have him say, I'm proud of you for everything that you've done while you were there, while you were living. You did the right thing. You made the right decisions. You met the right people. You said the right things. You did the right things. You taught people the right way and you lived the right life. That's what the key is. That's what the goal is to learn how to live. And the only way to do that is to include God in your life. You need to include him in your life so that he can show you how to live. A song comes to my mind now of, and I don't know who sings it, but it, show me how to live. I know it's a rock song, but I can't remember who sings it right now. But that's the truth, man. Show me how to live. That's what I want him to do every day. And he does, it's just so amazing to me. He'll show me everything. And it just ideas just they just burst out of your head. And the only way to get that is to be sober and not do drugs and not drink and not cloud your mind and not lose your consciousness with Christ, you know? I'm getting ready to go home and watch the Ravens hopefully beat the crap out of the Browns, and I'm going to cheer for them. And I love watching football, but I don't need to be drunk. I don't need to drink beer. I don't need to drink liquor to make it more enjoyable. It just is what it is. It's enjoyable enough the way it is. And I don't need to lose the connectivity that I have. You got these kids today that worry about their what do you call it? Their what is it? It's they don't want to lose their streak of their Snapchats or whatever. And it's like, and I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, well, we got to snap each other every day, or we lose our streak or whatever. Well, like that's how you should be with God. And I feel like the more connected you are to Him every day, I feel like the more you grow. And I feel like the bigger the steps. It's almost like if you miss a day, it's like one step forward, two steps back. I feel like, like if you go to church and you worship Him and you love Him and you seek Him and you worship Him and you take that step forward on Sunday. But then what happens is for most people, then Monday comes. Well, then they take two steps back because they didn't include God on Monday. And then Tuesday comes, and then they take two steps back, and they don't include God on Tuesday. And then Wednesday comes, and they take two steps back. And they do that all week long until Sunday comes, and they're like, so they're how many? They're 14 steps back now, but only one step forward from the last Sunday, and they think, why am I not growing in Christ? Why am I not growing with God? Why are things not happening for me? I'm a good person. I go to church. I put my money in the donation basket. I give to the homeless. I give to the guy on the street that needs money. I don't understand. Why is God not working for me? And that's how most people are. And it's because they don't include God every single day into their life. And that's what it takes. When you go on the journey with Jesus, you go on the journey with Jesus for every single day. It's not I'm going to take the week off. I'll see you later. And as a matter of fact, when you go on vacation, you're still with Jesus and you're still with God. There's never an off switch, ever. Not when you believe, man. Not when you're connected. Not when you want good things to happen to you. That's what it takes. And that's why things aren't going so good in your life. Because you're not putting God first every single day. You might put him first on Sunday because that's when you go to church. And kudos for you. You get a little gold star for Sunday. But the rest of the week, you're not putting him first. He needs to come first. He needs to come first before your wife. He needs to come first before your kids. He needs to come first before your own life. He's first. Because without him, you wouldn't even be here. And if you weren't here, you wouldn't have a wife, you wouldn't have kids, you wouldn't have anything. It's like the show, It's a Wonderful Life, which I finally watched this year. Took me 46 years to watch a movie, but it's like the whole point is, what if you weren't here? And look at what you could have impacted while you were here. Look at what you could have done, you know? And it's like, when you don't have God, you don't know what you're missing. You don't know how many people you could be having a positive impact on for their life. To change someone's life is a big deal. I change people's lives with their real estate transactions. And that's a big deal. It's one of the biggest financial assets that they'll ever have in their life, next to their retirement. Hopefully they put away for their retirement, because a lot of people don't do that, and they should, because who knows what's going on with Social Security. But that's a whole nother podcast. That's not this one. You know, you just need to trust and believe that he is going to guide you and lead you, and you need to get to the point where you can just fully surrender yourself and say, no matter how bad it is, no matter what's going on, you have control over my life. And he's going to test you. He's going to test you, and he's going to put you through some stuff, man. You're going to go. I felt like this past year, I told the guys on Friday night, I said, I feel like I went through God's boot camp, man. Like, it was hell, going through some of these trials and tribulations, and having to live 6 months with no income. None. I mean, and have bills that need to be paid, and figure it out. Figure it out. Well, he already had it figured out, because I'd already made so much freaking money when I was in my money days, and that's all I cared about. I made so much money I had to put away, but I didn't want to spend it. I didn't want to use it. And he said, I already provided for you. That's what he said to me. He said, Michael, I've already provided for you. You already have the money. You have your famine. You have all your dough stored up for the famine time. Use it. Use it. And trust me, and know that if you run low, I'm going to get you some more when it comes time. When it's time to harvest, and it's time to reap again. But now's the time that you need to sow. And now's the time that you need to believe. And now's the time that you need to use up what you've put away. And I know that I will replenish it. I will give it back to you. And all of what I'm saying is in the Bible. It is in stories. It is when he gave back what the locusts took. I think that was Joel. Like, he gave back what the locusts took. And he will replenish, and he will restore, and he will rebuild. That is what I had to go through. And that is what I had to believe. And I had to trust something that I couldn't see, something that I couldn't hear, other than through other people and prophetic messages, which are very real, by the way. They are very real. And things happen, And people are blessed. And sometimes you get blessed with all kinds of spiritual gifts and we'll call them extras, and wisdom and discernment and clarity and focus and determination and creativity and just amazing things. And I'm starting to think, like seriously, you think about somebody like Einstein, you know, he probably was an average guy that just had a huge belief in God. That was probably his secret weapon. That probably led to his expansion and his creativity. All these people who have done amazing and miraculous things in this world didn't do it on their own. They did it with the help of God, you know? And if you want to be one of them, if you want to be one of the ones that discovers the next big thing or has a big thinker or whatever, you're doing with God. Even Elon Musk, okay? And I'm gonna get heat for this, but even Elon Musk has God working with him. The problem with him is he just doesn't realize it yet. And the key word there is yet. I really think he's gonna come around. Something's gonna happen to him and he's going to be forced to realize that there is a God out there and that God is what got him where he got to. You know, it just doesn't happen by mistake. There's no mistakes in this world. There's no mistakes. Every single thing that happens for a reason. And you get people out there, well, then why did the 2-year old die of cancer? Well, and I know you may not want to hear this, but the 2-year old who died of cancer may be a karma payback to one of the adults that was responsible for their life that was a horrible human being. Maybe. Don't know. That's the type of stuff that God deals with. How am I going to make sure that this person gets justice? How am I going to make sure that this person gets the karma that needs to come back to them based on how they treated people and how they acted to people and how they did things to people? You know? Do they need to get in a car accident today to wake them up? Do they need to break their leg walking, tripping off the curb? Do they need to hit a deer driving down the road? All kinds of stuff happens in life, and none of it is a mistake. None of it is a mistake. You just have to open your heart up to God and just thank Him for everything He has done for you and everything He has blessed you with and everything that He continues to do for you, and just have some conversations with Him. Every once in a while, turn the radio off in the car. Turn the phone on silent when you're driving and you're by yourself and you got 20 minutes and just talk to God. I guarantee you're not going to be driving like an idiot, cutting people off, speeding through everything. And not during that time, you won't. You'll be relaxed and you'll just be talking to the Most High, and He'll help you. But see, you gotta believe it. You gotta have faith in it. Excuse me. You gotta have that unshakable faith to know and realize that God is truly everywhere. He's everywhere, and he's constantly teaching you things and throwing things your way. You ever wonder why the same thing happens to you 17 times? Because you're trying to learn not to make the same mistake every time. You know? Maybe that's why some people get divorced 6 times because they haven't learned what they're doing. Maybe it's them. Maybe they need to look in the mirror. You know? Might be a lesson they're being taught. They're looking for the wrong thing in their partner. You know? Maybe they were looking at what the partner looks like and getting all infatuated with how hot they were and everything, not looking inside in the inner beauty, in the inner heart, in their values, in their morals, in their ethics. You know what's really important. That's the stuff that's really important. Is what's morally with the person and how their character is and their integrity is. That's how you should be looking at people and judging people. Don't judge a book by its cover. And you never know who you're running into in this world. You never know how protected that person is in the spiritual realm. You never know. And when you do the wrong thing to the wrong person, that's when the karma comes. That's when it comes. And you're like, damn, why did it happen again? Why is it always me? Why am I having all this bad luck? It's not luck. You're getting paid back for what you did. You just need to wake up and realize it. And that's the sad reality because people aren't willing to do it. They're not willing to look inside and see what's wrong and fix it. And 9 times out of 10, it's just that you don't have God. Because when you have God, you don't do the things that got you in trouble in the first place because they're bad and wrong decisions. You don't make them. You make the right decisions, hanging around the right people, doing the right thing. So, anyway, that's the message for today. I hope you all liked it. God is everywhere. Nothing happens by mistake. And karma is very real. So, hope y'all take the message to the bank. Go Ravens. We will see you in a little bit. Like, comment, share the post. Thank you for watching. And I will see you again soon. Take care and God bless each and every